me and my overflowing TBR cart. So I brought this up on Instagram a couple weeks ago at this point. I am filming this on May 24th. You're probably not seeing it until June. But in passing on stories, I was just kind of chatting about how out of control my physical TBR is, and I slightly mentioned that I think I can clear the cart by the end of 2024. 2024 is halfway over. And there's a lot of books on this cart. However, I do think that I can read all of these books by the end of the year. We have 6 months to read all of these books. I typically read eight-ish books a month. Usually one of those is a nonfiction. So I'll probably be able to read 7 books a month. I'm happy with that number. I have a toddler, I'm a business owner. Like I just read for fun, you know what I mean? Something else about me, I am a very, very competitive person, but only with myself. Like I don't really care what somebody else is doing, like go off. Like I'm happy for you, but like when I'm competing versus me, watch out, because like I'm coming for me, you know what I mean? If you're an Enneagram 3, you feel me. Since I made that claim on Instagram that I think I can clear my TBR cart before the end of the year, I've accidentally added a couple more books to the cart. So we're gonna count them together, and I'm gonna show you every single book on the cart. And I think we're also going to choose my June TBR. I'm a mood reader, and I have never ever chosen a monthly TBR before, but I feel like it's gonna make it less daunting to know like, okay, these are the books that I have to focus on this month, these are the books that I have to focus on this month, and like so on. So that's what we are going to do. This month, I feel like because it's gonna take forever to go over all these books with you and count them, I'm just gonna pick my TBR. Like I'm gonna choose however many books it ends up being once we do the math and just kind of rolling with it. But maybe in the next couple of months, we'll do like a TBR game. You know how you see people doing like TBR jar or, you know, whatever. A more interactive way to pick my TBR. This month, we're just gonna get down to it, okay? Let's start off by counting how many books there are, seeing how many books I need to read per month in order to clear the cart, and then we'll pick my, my June TBR. I have books, I'm trying to decide. I feel like it's only fair. I have a couple books pre-ordered that are obviously not here yet, because that's what pre-order means, right? Like they're not here yet. I am gonna count them because they will be on the cart when they get here, and they're coming like all different times throughout the year. So after we take these off and we count them, I'll open up my Amazon and we'll count those together too. So please hold while I take all these off the cart, and we'll get to it together, okay? Okay. I just counted these ones, and we have 51. 51 books on my physical TBR cart. And now let me pull up Amazon and count those. I'm kind of regretting saying that I was going to include these, but I'm a woman of my word, so we're going to do it. So I'm only going to count the fiction books that I have on pre-order and ones that are coming out in 2024, because I have a couple that aren't coming until 2025. Not counting those, okay, obviously, because I can't read those by the end of the year. It's impossible, you know? Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is not looking good. 8, 9. So 60 books. Okay, wait, actually, this is kind of good. Kind of good that we have a nice number, 60, right? Because 51 plus 9, yeah, 60. Why don't I trust my math, even though it's the literal easiest math ever? Maybe because I have the camera on and my brain is just like, no girl. Okay, hold on, let me just make sure. Yeah, 60, okay, why? Okay, anyway. So, that being said, I have to read 10 books a month. A little higher than my average, but I do have a couple of like little ones that might be my saving grace. So I have to read 10 books a month from now until December in order to complete this challenge. I'm still confident. Okay, let's go over these books really quick. I'll tell you, like, just so you can kind of know like what's coming, and then we'll pick 10 to read together in June, and then I will record a video at the end of June, beginning of July probably, letting you know if I finish those 10 books, and then we'll pick the 10 books that we're gonna read for July, and so on and so on and so on. So, all right, let's just hop to, okay? So, I'm gonna do this quick because we have 51 books right now to go over, and then I'll read you the ones. Actually, let me start with that so I don't forget about doing it. The ones that I have coming from Amazon. Okay, on October 2nd, Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter is coming. That'll be a quick read. Love that for me. June 25th, we have A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. On August 6th, we have The Enemy by Sarah Adams. On July 2nd, we have The Match by Sarah Adams. On June 18th, we have Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. I'm so excited to read that one. On July 16th, have Business Casual by BK Borson. On June 11th, oh, that's actually soon, we have The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. I'm excited for that one too. I've only read one Catherine Center book, and I really liked it, The Bodyguard, so I'm excited to read this one. And then August 27th, we have Daydream, and then July 2nd, we have Reckless. I'm so excited for that one too. So I need to remember this list for when I'm choosing my June TBR because some of them are coming in June. So let's go over these really quick and then we'll choose my June TBR, okay? So we have The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. Truly, I don't know anything about this. I liked the cover and so I bought it. And that is the story for most of these books. I have The Women by Kristen Hanna. I've read, I wanna say 3 Kristen Hanna books and they've all made me sob. So excited to probably sob for this one too. I've heard really great things about this, so I am very excited to read it. I'll probably listen to it because 2 of the Kristen Hanna books that I've read before, like in the past, I've listened to on audiobook and I really had a good experience. So probably will audiobook that one. The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. Literally do not know one single thing about this book. Someone DM'd me on Instagram and said, I think you would like this book. I think it's your vibe. And I said, amazing, and I bought it. I'm an easy sell when it comes to books, truly. This has been on my TBR cart forever. The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I've never read anything by this author. I've heard that it's like a vampire Hunger Games. Is that what people said? I think. So, I don't know. I'm hoping I read this one in the fall. This gives fall to me, you know what I mean? This one I'm actually going to be reading in June because it is my book club's pick. I have a virtual book club called That's What She Read Book Club, and this is what they voted on for June, and it's Expiration Dates by Rebecca Searle? I don't know. I have no idea. A very cute cover, very excited to read that. I'm gonna put it to the side so I can remember that that has to be on my June TBR. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I don't know why I bought this. I truly could not tell you, if I wanted to, how this ended up on my TBR, but we're gonna read it this year. This one, I'm so excited to read this one. I'm gonna put this one aside too for my June TBR. It is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I've read a few of their books. They have like a whole section up on my shelf. Can you see that high up? No, you can't. And I really enjoyed 2, and then 2 of them were just kind of okay. So I feel like they're a hit or miss for me. But this one has really good reviews on Goodreads, and it's really giving summer, so I think we're gonna read that one in June, but we'll see. Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. I actually just read the 2nd book in this series, Things We Hide from the Light, I think. It was okay. It was all right. We have that one, but we will be reading the 3rd one because it's on the TBR cart, and that's what we're doing in 2024. We're clearing the cart. Okay, next, I literally bought this yesterday and added it to my TBR cart. Do I regret it? A little, because now I have 51 books that I have to read on this card. But I've heard really good things about it, and the cover is so cute. Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. I am terrible with names, so I apologize if I'm saying the names wrong. Like, yeah, sorry. The cover is what wooed me in. It also gave summer vibes. So have this one. Lessons in Chemistry. I was recommended this by so many people on Instagram when I shared my favorite reads from 2023. People told me that I should add this to my 2024 TBR. I listened, but I have not read it because, you know what? I really don't know why I haven't. I just haven't. I have the last 3 books in the Chestnut Spring series. I read the first 2, Flawless and Heartless. I liked them. I didn't love them, but I liked them. Don't come for me. I know it's a very well-loved series, and I can see why. It's just not my taste. Lucy Score and Elsie Silver, their stories are very easy to read, but they're a little raunchier than I like. Like the language, it's just like, I don't know, it's not exactly my style, but a toxic trait that I have is I buy every single book in a series before I even start the first book. So even if I don't like the first book, I have the whole rest of the series. And since we're clearing the cart, we're gonna be finishing the Chestnut Spring series this year. In the Weeds by B.K. Borson. I actually am excited to read this one. I love the cover. It reminds me of fall, so I kind of want to save this one for fall. I read this series out of order. I've already read Love Light Farms and Mixed Signals, and I loved Mixed Signals. It was such a good one. Love Light Farms, cute, fun. It's like a little Christmassy book. So I am looking forward to this whenever I get to it. And I have In 5 Years by same author as Expiration Dates, Rebecca whatever her last name is, I don't know. Y'all, I don't know. I have heard really good things. When I posted an Instagram reel showing all the books on my TBR cart, this one got the most hype. Like, the most hype. People were telling me you have to read this. I think it's an older book, so we're gonna read it this year, because we have to, because we're clearing the cart. How many times can I tell you that we're clearing the cart? Okay, I have X's and O's by Amy Lee. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't read this in February because it looks very Valentine's Day-ish, but I didn't. And so we're probably gonna read this one sooner rather than later because this doesn't really feel like something I wanna read in the fall and or winter. So maybe I'll put that aside just in case we wanna add it to the June TBR. Then I have Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. I have no idea how this is on my my TBR cart, but it's here. Sometimes I think I black out and just add books to my Amazon cart, and then they show up at my door, and my husband's like, what is this? And I'm like, honestly, I have no idea. And then I open it, and there's a book or two, and I'm like, oh, okay. So we have that. Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I have read a couple of Lynn Painter books, and I think they are so cute and so fun, and I think this will be a very, very easy read. I think I want to read this one in the summer too, so we'll put it aside, but not committing to it for June for sure. Then I have Ghosted. I have been avoiding this book for a very long time because I just don't like the cover at all. It just doesn't pull me in for whatever reason. I don't know anything about it at all. Do we sense a pattern here? I don't know anything about a lot of these books. So this one is by J.M. Darhauer. Be reading it sometime this year. I have A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. So this one my bestie recommended to me, and she doesn't read a ton. She's getting more into reading, I'll give her that. But when she really likes a book and recommends it, I try to make it a priority to read it. So as soon as she recommended it, I bought it, but I'm not a big thriller mystery girly. I'm very sensitive when it comes to that kind of stuff. I get spooked very easily, but she said that I would be okay. And I trust her, so I'm probably gonna save this for the fall because it's like one of the only thriller mysteries that I have on the cart. So I do have this one, and hopefully she still remembers what happened when I read it months and months from now, and we can talk about it. So I have that one. Then I have A Million Junes. I forgot I had this one by Emily Henry. I didn't know that Emily Henry had books other than like these ones. And then Beach Read, my bestie who I was just talking about, she's reading Beach Read right now. She actually just finished it last night, and she said she loved it, and it's one of my favorite books, and that just makes me so happy. I thought these plus Beach Read were the only ones Emily Henry had. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, okay. So I bought it. I think it's magical realism, I think, but I'm probably gonna save it for the fall if that is the case. Then I have The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston? I think it's Poston. I loved The 7-Year Slip, so I have high hopes for this, but I've heard that it's not as good as The 7-Year Slip. But I bought this, my husband and I went to Savannah for our 10-year wedding anniversary a month ago, actually, and I bought this at a local bookshop there, and I want to read this to you guys. I took a picture of it. They wouldn't let me keep it, which I was really sad about. The reason that I bought this book is because one of the people that worked there wrote like a little note about it. Like, look at this, how cute. Let me show you. I don't know if you can even see that at all, but I'm gonna read it to you. It says, if your fave Taylor Swift song is Holy Ground, which I don't really listen to Taylor Swift, don't come for me, I'm so sorry. I'm not anti-Taylor Swift, I'm just Taylor Swift neutral. But this is what sold me. It says, Gilmore Girls meets Ghost Whisperer meets Heart of Dixie in this big-hearted romance. The chemistry between Benji and Florence crackles off the page. Plus, I loved all the pop culture references. I am such a big Gilmore Girls fan. You'll see, you'll see. You'll see. So that sold me, and then I also really love Heart of Dixie. It's one of my comfort shows, but when the person at the bookstore said that this book reminded them of both those shows, I bought it immediately. So excited for this one. This also seems like a fall read. A lot of these are fall vibes, which is great, but also like, what am I gonna read this summer? I don't know. I have this one, Last Time We Met by Emily Houghton? I don't know. I don't know anything about this book. It's been on my TBR cart for probably 2 years at this point, and I don't know anything. So we'll find out later this year together. This one I bought not too long ago. I went to Barnes & Noble and it caught my eye, and so I bought it. It's called Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, and I've heard really good things about it. Plus it has a really cute cover, and I wish I would have read it in the spring because the cover is giving spring. Technically it's still spring when I'm recording this because it's not even June yet. So maybe we'll set this one aside too. We'll see. I have the Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. This is another one that's been on my TBR cart for a very long time. A very, very long time. Know nothing about it, but here it is. These all go together. These are other thrillers that I have. Are they thrillers? These are the only other, I'm pretty sure, like thrillery-ish, mystery-ish books that I have besides A Flicker in the Dark. They are books 2, 3, and 4 in the Natural series. Sorry, they're not in order if that bugs you. Here. There you go, all my type A's out there. Okay, so Killer Instinct, All In, and Bad Blood. I'm actually reading the Naturals right now. That's why it's not on the cart. So I'm like 30% through, and it's kind of scary to me, I'm not gonna lie. If you've read it, like I'm barely even into it, but the like chapters that are from you perspective terrify me. So I'm probably gonna just sprinkle these throughout the year because I've heard they're really good palate cleansers because they're YA, super fast paced. If you like Criminal Minds, I've heard that you'll like these. It's like a YA version. I'm a baby and do not watch Criminal Minds, so I can't tell you if that's true or not. But we have these, so probably I'll try to spread those throughout the year. Like I said, it's kind of like a palate cleanser. Then I have books 4 and 5 of the Boys of Tommen series by Chloe Walsh. This series has me in a chokehold. I did not think it was gonna be my vibe. I loved books 1 and 2 so much. Some of my top reads from 2023, that's when I read them. I just read book 3, Saving 6, not that long ago. Liked it, didn't love it as much, but I love being in this world. So I'll have no problem like reading these, absolutely none. So love these. Check the trigger warnings before you read this series because they're intense. Like these books are intense. I have The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. I bought this at Barnes & Noble on a whim because the cover pulled me in, and then I found out that you have to read the deal before you read this, which I haven't. So that's not a problem for now. That's a problem for when this lands on my TBR 1 month later this year. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I have another Kristen Hanna book, which is called Magic Hour. I know nothing about this, but I got it on sale. Target was having a really great book sale, I don't know, like 2 months ago, and I bought like 10 books. So a lot of these are from that sale actually, but I specifically remember this one being from that sale. So we have that one. I have The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, and this is also by Rebecca Yarros, In the Likely Event. I've heard great things about both of these. This is the same author as Fourth Wing, right? Because I feel like these are a very different vibe than Fourth Wing, but it's the same author. So I don't know, that confuses me a little bit. I loved Fourth Wing, and so I'm excited if it is the same author to get to these. These are also from that Target sale. So I have these. Next up, The City Baker's Guide to Country Living by Louise Miller. I have never heard anyone talk about this in my life, but I was reading an article on like BuzzFeed or something, I don't remember, and it said if you like Gilmore Girls that you would like this book. So I bought it immediately. So we'll see. This one kind of is giving summer, so maybe I should set that aside too. Which, speaking of Gilmore Girls, besides In 5 Years, these were the most talked about when I posted that reel on my Instagram sharing all the books that I had on my TBR cart, because people were like, I did not know they existed, please read them and report back immediately. And I am gonna read them and report back, but I'm gonna be doing so in the fall, because how can I not save Gilmore Girls books for the fall? I feel like it would be a crime if I read them any other time. So yeah, these are books based on Gilmore Girls, and I have not read any of them. Obviously, they're on the TBR cart. These are the only 4 that exist. I paid way too much money for them. It's embarrassing. I saw my cousin at the beach with one, and I was like, what is that? She got it at Goodwill for like $2. I paid way too much money because I searched for all of them online. Like, it's embarrassing how much I spent on these books. But like I said, I'm a big Gilmore Girls fan. My cousin said that it feels like you're reading an episode of the TV show, but they're not based on episodes that have already come out. Like, it's their own stories. So the first one is called The Other Side of Summer. Oh, maybe I should read that one in the summer. I don't have to read all of them at the same time. Let's just set that one aside. I do, don't I? Like mother, like daughter, and I love you, you idiot. So I am just so excited for those. This is another one of those times where I bought the entire series at one time. Starting to dislike that trait about myself when I'm having to clear this cart. So we have the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber, and I already read Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I know you're supposed to read this series first, but I didn't, so that's a bummer. But I'm gonna read these because they're on the TBR cart, and that's what we're doing this year. Remember, we're clearing the TBR cart. So I will be reading these. These also give fall/winter. Maybe I'll save these for the winter time. I've heard that they're not as enjoyable if you read them after Once Upon a Broken Heart, which is kind of tragic, but it's the position that we're in, so it's okay. It's okay. Next up, I am dreading this. It's The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. My husband is a big fan, not big fan, he's a fan of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. He read them when he was a kid. He doesn't read now. Like, as an adult, he is not a reader. He had to read these when he was a kid, and he made me watch all the Lord of the Rings movies. We watched them when I was pregnant, and I just remember falling asleep because I was just so tired, and I was like, bro, this is not my vibe. But I told him that I would read this book, and so now I'm gonna have to because it's on the TBR cart and we're clearing the cart this year. So he'll be very happy. I don't know when we're gonna get to that. I don't know. Okay, next up, I'm excited for this. It is Red Rising. I think this is the only sci-fi book that I have on the cart, and it is by Pierce Brown. I've heard amazing things about this series. I'm a little intimidated because sci-fi, I don't really read sci-fi, but I've heard really great things. I have heard that this is like Hunger Games in outer space, which is very intriguing to me. Thankfully, I only bought this book. I didn't buy the entire series because the other books in the series are thick. They're bricks, they're chunkers. So thankfully I only have to read this one this year. So after that I don't even know how to say this. Scythe? I really don't know. I don't know, but it's by Neil Shusterman. And I distinctly remember buying this like 3 years ago because I needed another book. I needed another book for when Barnes does buy one, get one half off. I was like, oh, I have to get another book. So I got this one. I don't know anything about it. Nothing, but it seems like a fall book to me. It's giving fall, so we'll probably save it for the fall. I'm saying about all of these books. We can't read all these in the fall. We just can't. We just can't do it. So I need to get over the vibes and just read them when I can fit them in the year, you know? And oh wait, I think this is sci-fi too. I lied. I have another science fiction, I'm pretty sure. Ready Player One. I've had this for a very long time and I don't know anything about it. I just remember I found it at a thrift store for like $2 and I heard Noelle Gallagher. Shout out if you remember Noelle Gallagher. I don't think she's posted on her YouTube channel in years. I used to watch all of her videos back in the day. She talked about this, and so when I saw it for $2, I was like, sure, why not? Just been sitting on my cart for years because sci-fi scares me. Six of Crows. I've heard amazing, amazing things about this. I've tried to start it like 3 times, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't hit. But we're gonna have to make it hit because we're clearing the cart in 2024. So this also gives fall. Maybe winter. Maybe we'll say this gives winter. We have 4 more books. We have Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. Dreading. Absolutely dreading. Listen, I have read the entire ACOTAR series, like what's out so far. I would say like, don't love. And I have read books, how many of I've read Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, and Queen of Shadows. So 5 of the Throne of Glass books. Like, don't love. I am just like not one of those ride or die Sarah J. Maas people. Don't come for me. Wow, I am talking about not being the biggest Taylor Swift fan and not being the biggest Sarah J. Maas fan. I feel like I'm gonna make a lot of people mad. I'm sorry, I am who I am, okay? Okay, I respect you for liking those things. They're just not my favorite things. And so I bought this, I can't even tell you why, but I'm dreading it. Not dreading these ones, but I'm not like that stoked about them. These are the last 3 books we have to go over. Last 3 books in the Throne of Glass series, and they're thick. They are thick. Like Kingdom of Ash, I think this book is almost 1,000 pages. Help me, help me, help me. Okay, and then I have the tandem read left of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. So these go together. I'm gonna tandem read them, and then I'm gonna read this one. Yikes, these terrify me. These make me very grateful for these because I feel like they kind of balance each other out. You know what I mean? So those are all the physical books that I have on my TBR cart, and we're gonna clear the cart together this year. Me and you, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So for my June TBR, let's see, I need to have 10 books picked out. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 7, and so I need 3 more. Let's see, should I try to do the tandem read and just get it over with? Maybe, hold on. Let me ponder some things and I'll report back in a second. I narrowed it down to the 10 books that are gonna be on my June TBR. I'm a little mad at myself that I added so many books to my TBR cart after making the statement that I could clear the cart by the end of the year. Because when I said that on Instagram, initially I had 49 books on the cart. Now I have 59, 10 more books, so really digging myself in a hole here, but it's okay. All right, so these are the books that I am going to read in June. These are them. Let's see. Let's take a little look. I'll show you each one individually. This video is probably so long. I'm sweating. Truly, I'm sweating. Okay, this is my June TBR. I'm gonna try to do the tandem read. Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. Pray for me, okay? If you pray for me. So we have these two. This is really like 4 books, if you ask me, but it's fine. I decided to throw this in there because I figured after those, I would need something like fast-paced. So this is the second book in the Naturals series, Killer Instinct. We have my book club pick, Expiration Dates. We have Christina Lauren, The Paradise Problem. I feel like this is another good palate cleanser. So thankfully, a lot of these books are like fun. And so the tandem read, maybe I'll be able to get through it. I chose one of the Gilmore Girls books, The Other Side of Summer, because wait, what was that? There's pictures in here. Cute, okay, cool. So we have that one. City Baker's Guide to Country Living, because let's just stick with the Gilmore Girls theme. Ready or Not, Betting on You by Lynn Painter, and then X's and O's. Okay, so I feel like, I feel like these, hold on. I feel like these are gonna be very fast reads for some reason. And then I have 5 that are not gonna be very fast reads. So I'm gonna have to really dial in to get this done in June. I'll report back at the end of June and let you know where we're at. I think it's strategic of me to do these at the start of this challenge because I own a planner company and we get wild in the fall because that's when planners for 2025 launch, September specifically. So if I had to read all of these plus Crescent City in the fall, I'd probably have a panic attack. So I just want to get these out of the way. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe I'll love them. Anyway, all right. Thank y'all for watching. I will report back in about a month and let you know how we did. I love you so much and I hope you have the best day ever. Bye y'all.